Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in the Rotary world. Welcome to our Rotary International Multi-Club meeting, focusing on humanitarian needs in Ukraine. My name is Stephanie Yurchik, and I am the immediate past Rotary International Director for Zones 33 and 34, located in the southeastern United States and the Caribbean islands. Greetings to all the Rotarians from around the world who have joined us, some individually and some at their Rotary clubs, as well as non-Rotarians who are on our call. Some of you are on the Zoom webinar, and some are watching from our Facebook live stream. In both cases, you will be able to post questions. We ask that those of you on the webinar, please use the Q&A section of Zoom because our chat box is actually disabled. We will monitor the questions and answers from both platforms. Today's meeting is being hosted by my own Rotary Club, the Rotary Club of McMurray, Pennsylvania, USA, with President Marcy Santel, along with the Rotary Club of Edina, Morningside, Minnesota, USA, with President Steve May, and the Rotary Club of Cleveland, Ohio, USA, with President Christine Wiskochel. In addition to these three clubs, we also have the Rotary Club of Kyiv International, whose charter president, Oksana Tupa, will be part of our program. Additionally, we have two other special guests, District Governor Volodymyr Bondarenko from District 2232, and immediate past District Governor Mykola Stebianko, who also serves as District 2232 Rotary Public Image Coordinator. Together, these three Rotarians will help us get a better understanding of the humanitarian needs in Ukraine, and specifically share with us how Rotary clubs and districts may lend support. So now I will turn it over to my club president, Marcy Santel, to lead this unique meeting.
Thank you, Stephanie. Welcome, everyone. I just want to say thank you. I am the president of the McMurray Club in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we are very fortunate to have past international director Stephanie Yurchik as part of our club. So when Stephanie came to me and offered the opportunity to put together this joint meeting with the Club of Ukraine, we absolutely wanted to take advantage of that and get a firsthand account of what's going on and learn more about the situation. And we're happy to hold this joint club meeting and international meeting, which is very exciting for us. So welcome everyone, and we'll go ahead and get started. I want to introduce President Steve May from the Edina Morningside Club in Minnesota, and he will get us started with our reflection. Steve?
Rotary gives people an opportunity to share their gifts to create extraordinary outcomes. Gifts have three components. One, from the giver, is their giving of their time, talent, and resources. The receiver speaks a lot about how you receive the gift. And then the gift creates a bond between these two people and how things foster in their lives. As Rotarians, we share our gifts in community, vocational, and international service. It's how we encourage and engage with others that makes these gifts flourish. Today, we're going to hear inspiring stories about people from the Ukraine. Let's be inspired. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Steve. Next, I'd like to introduce President Christine Wiskochel from the Rotary Club of Cleveland, Ohio, and she is going to lead us today in the four-way test. Christine?
Thank you so much, President Marcy. I bring you warm greetings from the Rotary Club of Cleveland, Ohio, USA, the home club of Arch C. Klum, father of the Rotary Foundation, located in Rotary District 6630, Northeast Ohio. family of Rotary, and especially our friends today who have joined us from the Rotary Club of Kyiv International, Ukraine, please join me in reciting together the Rotary's four-way test of the things we think, do, and say. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you so much. And up next is President Marcy again.
Thank you, President Christine. We appreciate you leading us in the four-way test. So next, I would like to introduce the Charter President of the Kyiv International Club, Oksana Tupa, who is here today to talk to us about the situation in Ukraine so we can understand better what's going on. President Oksana?
Thank you very much. Thank you for the words. And let me start my speech. I have 20 minutes so that I can start. First of all, let me thank you very much, USA and as a nation for helping us. You are the biggest, our friend in this war, because you were the first to help us, to give the hand and to help with weapon to stand the war and to get the victory. Second, thank you very much because many Rotary clubs are helping us and giving us words of support and a lot of also financial support and giving opportunities to help Ukrainian people. And number three, thank you once again for this meeting and opportunity to share today our work and opportunities to provide peace in Ukraine. So the war started not on the 24th of February. In fact, it started about 8 years ago when Russians invaded Crimea Peninsula, Lugansk and Donetsk region. For me and for my friends and even for our club, nobody believed to the very first day of war, on the 24th February, that the war could start. We stayed at our homes, we had our plans. On the 24th of February, I had my birthdays. I had 44 years old and I could not expect the war to happen. I woke up because at 5 in the morning, the bombing started. In Kiev, we heard the bombing of our civil airport Boryspil by Kiev. And we woke up, everybody woke up because we've heard this bombing. We could not mix up it with anything like fireworks because it was complete bombing and everybody realized that. And a lot of people rushed immediately from Ukraine to the west of Ukraine because taking their children because they realized that the war really had started. Our club was divided very quickly because some of people ran away from Ukraine, some of people ran to the west of Ukraine. My husband and I and a few Rotary members of our club moved to the west in Ivano-Frankivsk region, and we are staying till now there, helping as volunteers. And we are working as volunteers. All our businesses are stopped, and we are working these days only as volunteers, about 20 hours a day. We are very thankful to all Rotary clubs around Ukraine, because only with the help of their support and cooperation and collaboration with them, we have all these results that we can show you today. So from the first days of war, let me share my screen and I will share it with you. We started doing help, providing help to people on the east in Kharkiv, Sumy, Chernihiv region and Kyiv region. Why? Because all the food chains were broken. Even if you had money, you could not go to supermarket because many of them were closed due to truck drivers could not come to the city to bring the food or medicine or whatever because they're very much afraid. The bombing was very active, especially in Kharkiv. Kharkiv is on the border with Kharkiv region is on the border with Russia. Chernigiv is on the border with Belarus, and Sumy is in the border with Russia. So we were bringing chicken because it is the cheapest meat to Kharkiv region, Chernigiv and Sumy and Kiev region. And thanks to 7 Rotary clubs of Kharkiv who made a special humanitarian hub and who were distributing all this help to disabled people, old people, who stayed at home. They were helping thousands of people distributing food that we were trying to deliver. We were trying to find drivers who were as volunteers. We paid only for petrol, and they were delivering even under bombing and shelling. They were delivering food to Kharkiv region, Chernigiv region, Sumy region. We were also delivering humanitarian aid to Kharkiv, Dnipro, Kiev, Chernigiv, and thanks to all the Rotary clubs of Kiev, more than 10 clubs, and thanks to Rotary Club of Poltava, Dnipro, and many others who were helping distributing this humanitarian aid on the spot. It was very good opportunity of collaborating because we could rely on our Rotarians because they were trustworthy. It was very important at this period to have trustworthy people on the spot. The first month of our war was, we called it the evacuation month, because most of millions of people were evacuating from Kharkiv, Dnipro, Zaporizhia, Chernigiv, Sumy, Kiev, and the main source of how they could evacuate was railway. And the railway workers did not have any break because they were working hard. They did not go out of the trains for 1 month because the next as soon as the train comes from Kharkiv to Lviv, the next hour the train goes back to take another portion of people, and they were delivering people for free. We were helping feeding these people. We were helping with hot meal for these people, for workers, because they didn't have any opportunity to go out and to have rest, to get shower, to have sleep. They were working more than 1 month without any break. We were also preparing food and helping people in bomb shelters, because by the first of day of war, no one bomb shelter in Ukraine was not equipped for people to stay there. They were not warm. The war started in February, in winter. So these shelters were cold. They were not heated, and we were buying warm things and special items for kettles and ovens and so on, so that people were living there at night to get food, hot food, to get tea, routers, water filters, and other. We were helping also children in the west of Ukraine or in the villages. I will show you some of our teams who were delivering a lot of humanitarian aid to the distant villages. For example, we have Kiev Chernigiv team. These are the people that every 2 days was traveling to Chernigiv from Kiev, delivering in small buses because the roads were broken because of Russian invasion. And they were delivering food and medicine to hospitals and small villages around Chernigiv to the spot to deliver these and to help people. We have Uzhgorod Dnipro team, also a bus that was going every 3 days to Dnipro region, going to small villages around Dnipro, delivering food, medicine, diapers, hygiene, and so on to large families around Dnipro. We have Polyanitsa team, a few people with the bus who was delivering food, medicine, baby food, clothes to Dnipro and Chernigiv to the request. If we had a request from a certain village, they were going directly to the spot. In Kiev, we have a great Rotaract club. It was more than 80 people in Kiev who were staying there and who were distributing a lot of who were distributing a lot of food, medicine, diapers, and hygiene to old people who stayed at their houses. They started their work in the morning with getting orders and then distributing, going around Kiev, distributing food, medicine, and many other things. For us, it was important because the first months of war, many social services did not cope with all this work because of bombing, shelling, and because of the military hours that started early in Kiev at these days. And that's why these people needed a lot of help and support. We were also delivering a lot of different things to bomb shelters, like warm socks, thermal marks, mattresses, water filters, because these shelters were not equipped. They are still not good equipped, but these days people do not spend their time in shelters as it was in the first 2 months of the war. We did not know about the problem, but many people left their pets in big cities. And I'm telling now only about Kiev and our team that was collecting cages with pets around Kiev and bringing home. When I was paying some bills, I was afraid to pay of them because many of them were with food for dogs or pets, and many flats and houses of our volunteers turned into small zoo with many pets at their homes. We have arranged, by these days, we have arranged about 5 shelters for IDPs. We call them internally displaced people. So a refugee is a person who goes abroad to another country, but IDP is internally displaced person. And we have arranged a few shelters for more than, now it is almost 1,000 people in Zolochiv, Lviv region, in Polyanitsa, Ivano-Frankivsk region, and in Uzhgorod. We were buying beds, mattresses, pillows, ovens, fridges, boilers for these people to live in colleges, schools, and kindergartens. Our government let these people live in schools, kindergartens. They belong to government or local authorities, and they are well heated. This is the reason why people can be settled there. The first month of evacuation was also important for us, helping people with disabilities, blind people, people on wheelchairs. We have arranged in Kiev, Chernihiv, and Kharkiv evacuation of almost 1,000 people who could not do it themselves. And we were delivering these people to Lviv. And thanks to many Lviv Rotary clubs who were helping to evacuate these people abroad. And this is also a result of collaboration of our Lviv clubs. The most important thing in medicine was hemostatic tourniquets or stop bleeding items. And we were buying 3,000 or 5,000 every month and distributing them around Rotary clubs of Ukraine and to communities that were asking to provide these stop bleeding items. And we are still continue to deliver them, but now we are trying to make first aid kits together with Rotary Club Lviv International. We were helping with gasoline to many ambulances in Kiev, Chernihiv, and Sumy, because the ambulances needed gasoline to bring people to hospital. We also provided food assistance in food, medicine, beds, and many other things to many small villages that we were delivering. And I know that I'm almost run out of time. I just wanted to add that this day we started also one project cooperation about purchasing water filters and installing them into communities to help with clear water. Because in some regions we have ecological catastrophe, because every day about 50 bombs are coming into Ukraine and many plants have been ruined. For example, Kremenchuk gasoline plant. And all these chemical items, they went into the ground, and people cannot drink water from the wells or drills because it is poisoned now with chemicals. That is the reason why we, together with Ministry of Health, we will do the chemical analysis and install special filters for people to drink water. And we will take this water to chemical analysis once again to get to be sure that the water is purified for people to drink. To make resume of my speech, I would love to tell that I'm very thankful for Rotary service and many clubs in Ukraine who cooperated with all the projects and who were helping hand, and we were collaborating with each other in all the projects. It is not only the one club work, it is always work of 2 or 3 or 5 clubs at the same time. And I also thank you for all your support, because when we go to any meeting, we hear much love and support to our country. And we really feel this, because for us, the war is not only hard work and service, it is also words of support by our Rotarians, friends Rotarians from different countries, who provide their sympathy, support, minutes of silence for the killed people, money, words of support, and who also urge their governments to provide support to Ukraine. Thank you very much for your support, and thank you for this opportunity to deliver my speech. That's over.
Thank you, Oksana. That's very moving. We see reports on the news, but to see those pictures of you in action really drives it home what you're going through. And in the true spirit of Rotary, people of action, bringing food and water and supplies and medicine to the people that really need it. So we thank you. You're thanking us, but we thank you for the work that you're doing. Next, I wanted to introduce District 2232 from the Ukraine, Governor Vladimir Bondarenko.
Thank you.
Share some additional information with us. Governor?
Thank you. My
Thank you
name is
for being-
Vladimir Bondarenko. I am a district governor, District 2232, Ukraine. My English so-so, тому my son, Rotarian клубу Івано-Франківськ, my interpreter. Друзі, я хочу висловити неймовірну подяку американському народу, американському уряду і ротарійцям Америки.
Friends, I want to express my humble thanks to US people, US government, and to all US Rotarians.
Мені випала і честь, і випробування очолювати дистрикт український саме в період початку і продовження війни.
And the same time, I had an honor and a big challenge to lead the District 2232 during the war times in Ukraine.
Це дистрикт, який на початок війни налічував 1100 ротарійців, а станом на сьогодні він уже має 1165 ротарійців.
Our district before war, the amount of the Rotarians was 1,100 Rotarians, and now during the war, it's already 1,160 Rotarians. So we increased.
Це показує той факт, що наша згуртована робота, яку з першого дня почали ротарійці, стала бути помітною для громадян України. І вони з кожним днем все більше і більше хочуть поповнити наші лави.
That shows that our work during our volunteer work during the war times showed to the people of Ukraine the example, and lots of people, more and more people every day wants to feel and stand along with us in the Rotary.
Я дякую Оксані, оскільки вона дуже детально і дуже глобально окреслила роботу нашого дистрикту, щоденну працю.
Many thanks to Oksana. Therefore, she explained really in details about our day-to-day work and life of our district.
Але я б хотів дещо деталізувати, як же це працює.
I want to go into a bit specifics how it works.
Фактично, в перші дні початку війни нами було прийнято, я маю на увазі активом дистрикту, було прийнято бажання, така необхідність створити комітет, який би засідав кожного дня двічі, зранку і ввечері.
From the very beginning of the war, because of the situation, we decided to create a special committee which has meetings every day in the morning and in the evening.
І це дало можливість дуже швидко організувати основні 4 хаби.
And that gave us opportunity to organize in really rapidly organize 4 main humanitarian hubs.
Це хаб на кордоні з Польщею, Словаччиною, Угорщиною і Румунією.
We're talking about Poland, hub, Slovakia, Hungary and Romania.
Станом на сьогодні ми вже перевезли різної гуманітарної допомоги від харчів, одягу, теплих речей до медицинських засобів гігієни і спецтехніки приблизно на $1 мільйон. А це тільки те, що ми можемо порахувати. А я думаю, що ця допомога сягає значно більших об'ємів.
Up to this day, we received in different humanitarian goods, such as food, hygienes, different equipment, medicine, around on the sum of $1 million. And that's only what we can really calculate and observe, but I think we received much more, which is not on the record.
Але війна, вона настільки масштабна, що об'єми руйнування і нищення наших міст сягли неймовірних масштабів.
But the war is so intense and hard that the level of damage which our cities and towns received, it's you cannot describe it in words.
Тому було прийнято рішення звернути увагу на спеціальні проекти, які своєю метою були завезення спецтехніки. Це швидких допомог, це обладнання для пожежників, а так само ще й спеціальна техніка у вигляді генераторів.
That's why we decided to make a focus on projects which are delivering different techniques such as fire trucks, fire ladders, electric generators, different demining techniques, and things which can be helpful in these cases.
І станом на сьогодні нам вдається контактувати з великою кількістю дистриктів у світі, які добровільно бажають виступити або у якості одного дизастер гранту на $25,000, або ж таких дистриктів буває навіть до 10. Тобто ми потенційно можемо претендувати на проекти вартістю до $250,000.
And now we are having different requests from different clubs around the world who are requesting projects from sum around $25,000, and actually we can talk now about money in total, about 4 projects. Like per one project, it can be united from different clubs, and we can talk about around $200,000 per one project.
І я дуже дякую американським дистриктам, бо завдяки саме їх відважності нам вже вдалося завести і пожежні машини, і швидкі допомоги, і потужні генератори.
And I want to thank again US clubs because they, with the help of the clubs, we already got into Ukraine and fire trucks and ladders and all these electric generators.
І станом на сьогодні ми саме в цьому процесі у нас в роботі зараз бодай 8 проєктів, де задіяні американські дистрикти.
Yeah, I want to share like some pictures. That's actually the medical vehicles. We already shipped about 10 delivered and 9 more to come. Also, this is the fire trucks or 3 are delivered from Austria and 5 we are in the process of receiving. Also, this is the generators with small capacities and like the big ones, more than 10 kilowatts. And in general, 210 already delivered, but we still need more in the same amount, even more.
Отже, служінням змінюємо життя, а разом я знаю, що ми дійдемо до перемоги значно швидше.
So with serving, we are changing lives, and together, I believe that we will reach the victory as soon as possible.
Дякую.
Thank you very much.
All right, as you can imagine, we have tons of questions, but before I get to questions, I'll just ask if our colleague, past District Governor Mikola, would like to add anything.
Yes, if I can, dear fellow Rotarians, greetings from Odessa. And I would like just add information about Rotary Disaster Fund. I see a lot of question about this fund. I'm responsible in our district for the grants from Disaster Fund. And we have a strong connection with Rotary International, and we know all information about this fund. So, as you know, this fund was opened 2 months ago, opened for every donation from Rotarians, clubs and districts. And to the moment of the closed for donations, the total amount was $15 million. We are grateful, thank you to all Rotarians, to all clubs and districts who made these donations. Now, this fund provides special disaster grants for every district over the world, especially these grants for the Ukrainian district and frontline district, the neighbors with Ukraine. These districts can apply for the grant up to $100,000, sorry. But other districts also can apply for these grants up to $25,000. And this is your occasion. If you would like to help to Ukraine or refugees Ukrainian refugees who are outside of Ukraine, you can apply for this grant and make some projects. If you need some assistance, I'm open for any kind of how to apply this grant and how to help Ukraine or Ukrainians. You can choose, for example, some our need that we see, that we know this need, and we can provide for you information for your application to create this application and to pay for some medicines, medical equipment, or some project inside Ukraine. So please welcome, we are open for this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mikola. Well, obviously, as you can imagine, we have a ton of questions, and I'm not sure that we will get through all of them, but I'm going to go through the list and see if we can get some of these answered while we are on our call. So the first one, I'll share with the district governor. Someone is asking, how many Rotary clubs are there in Ukraine? District governor, how many Rotary clubs in Ukraine?
Станом на сьогодні у нас є 66 клубів, і на реєстрації, я думаю, може статись так, що їх стане на 2 більше.
At this moment we have 66 clubs and 2 more about to receive the registration.
Ну, з них 4 білоруських, якщо чисто українських, то 62.
If we're talking about just Ukrainian clubs, that's 62 because 4 of them are Belarusian.
Okay, great. Oksana, we had a couple of questions asked. People were asking, where are you getting the food, the medical equipment, and the other supplies? Where is it coming from? How are you getting those supplies?
Mhm. From the very first days of war, we are very thankful to many Rotarians from other countries. First of all, Romania, Hungary, Poland, and Slovenia, who are providing humanitarian help. They are buying and delivering these to Ukraine. Part of these products we are buying with the money that are donated to our club. When we talk part of food and medicine, we can get from humanitarian help for free. Partially, we buy inside of Ukraine. On the second month of war, many businesses relocated inside of Ukraine from the east and center to the west of Ukraine. And this helped a lot for people to restore production. And these days, it is easier and cheaper to buy medicine, food, and many supplies inside of Ukraine than outside, because many factories and producers restored their working facilities, and it helps a lot. For example, if we compare sometimes buying mattresses outside, we were trying to compare the prices. It is much more expensive to buy mattresses in Holland or in Poland than inside of Ukraine. Because for us, the producers give the lowest price only to pay taxes and salaries for their workers, because they pretty understand that this work, what we are buying is going to IDPs or territorial defense, or to disabled people, or to old people. And this gives us opportunity to get the lowest price. Thank you.
Okay. Mikola, one of our participants was asking if we have a general idea of how many Ukrainians have left the country. How many refugees do we estimate have left?
The official figures said about more than 10 million people. It means approximately 4 or maybe for 5 million that went to go outside Ukraine, in Europe and other countries, and also up to 5-6 million it's internally displaced people. Actually, I would like to tell not only Ukrainians, also about Rotarian. Here in Ukraine, approximately half of Rotarians should left their home. So now they left in another countries or in other regions of Ukraine. And also the third part of our Rotarians lose their jobs or lose the incomes of their business. But despite these difficult lives, we try to continue our service. And as said our governor, we are growing. That's very incredible. We are growing Rotary. Now, under Schellen, we create new Rotary clubs.
That is amazing. That is amazing. There's a second part to that question, Mikola, from the same person. We're wondering if you could talk a little bit about how communication is working between those people in Ukraine who may have family in Russia and or other parts of the world, how is communication working between Ukrainians and other parts of the world?
Actually, yes, maybe district governor.
District Governor, please.
Thank you. Можливо, я почну з комунікації з ротарійцями російськими.
Maybe I will start with the communication with Russian Rotarians.
Буквально на початку війни я намагався зв'язатись із пастгубернатором, з губернатором і з губернатором-електом. Правда, до цього часу вони мені так і не відповіли.
On the beginning of the war, I tried to connect with past governor and governor-elect, and until now, I haven't received any answer from them.
А розмова, знаю, що одного з наших ротарійців, пастгубернаторів, з його другом з Росії, закінчилась тим, що росіянин нас звинуватив, що ми самі на себе напали.
And from the conversation between one of our past governors with his friend, Rotarian friend in Russia, was that his conversation just ended with like the Russian person he was saying that we are attacked ourselves and we are just made it up, all the story that Russia didn't do any aggression.
Приблизно так само відбувається розмова між родинами. Вони не можуть спілкуватись на цю тему.
Maybe a bit like this, there is a conversation between the families. They cannot talk about this normally.
Але основним є те, що наш дистрикт написав лист до Rotary International з проханням виключити Rotary Росії взагалі з лав Rotary. І я поясню чому.
And the main thing what we've done since the war happened, we wrote to Rotary International with a request to take off Russian Rotary district away from the Rotary International. And I want to explain why.
В Росії 83% підтримує війну і вбивство українців у нас на нашій землі.
In Russia, at this moment, around 83% are supporting war and destruction and killing on our land.
1100 ротарійців із 1100 ротарійців Росії, получається, що 850 так само підтримує цю війну.
So around from 1,000 Rotarians in Russia, we assume that 800 are supporting the war.
Наскільки я знаю, Rotary рух – це миролюбива організація, і вона відповідає основним 4 правилам Rotary і основним питанням, на які росіянин не може відповісти ні на одне.
As far as I know, Rotary is a peaceful organization, and it sticks to the 4 peaceful rules. And Russians now, they cannot answer to none of these rules.
Тому всі клуби України одноголосно проголосували за те, щоб звернутись до Rotary International і виключити російський дистрикт із членства в Rotary.
That's why all Ukrainian clubs voted together to make this request towards Rotary International to take off Russian district out from the Rotary International.
І мені дуже приємно, що такі дистрикти, як польський, литовський, латвійський, і я знаю, що деякі американські підтримали цю ідею.
and I happy to hear that a lot of Polish, Latvian, Lithuanian districts, and also some of US districts also supported this this intention.
І я закликаю всіх присутніх тут підтримати нас, тому що зараз, на жаль, треба, мабуть, зробити так.
And I just invite everyone, all districts in US and those who are hearing us, do the same, because in this situation we need to show the right side and to show the consequences.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor. Oksana, we've had a lot of questions asking about sending material to Ukraine. We had a Rotarian in one of the Carolinas who said Disaster Aid USA has water treatment packs, but they'd like to know where to send them. Other questions about, we have leftover computers that aren't being used. We have clothing. Is there a way to send them? Is it useful? Can you use them? And finally, the question is it more important to send material at this point or to send funding at this point?
Thank you very much for this question. I want to divide my answer into two sides. First, we had experience about getting help from USA Charity Foundation, and I will explain our experience in figures. One of the charity foundation in USA have sent in March. They have sent us mattresses, beds, diapers, medicine, and many other things in one truck. And it was going in sea for 3 weeks. And it took our donors $6,000 to deliver these to the seaport of Antwerp in Denmark. And it also took us 3,000 euro to bring this cargo to Uzhgorod warehouse. So almost $10,000 took for delivery. But when we took all this stuff and calculated the quantity of items and the price for these items was almost the same $10,000 that was inside of the truck. So in figures, we realized that it was a big project because it took much resources of many logistic people, because our seaports are blocked and we were delivering these items by sea too long. So we didn't find it sensible, but we realized that it makes sense if you deliver some technical devices that are in higher price or cannot be bought or delivered from Europe. This is the explanation about figures. So the first part of answer about the delivery of items. So if the content of truck will be will be more than $10,000, then it makes sense to deliver it from USA. It is in figures. As for buying in Europe or Ukraine, it makes sense to take this the money and buy some equipment in Europe or in Ukraine, because many hospitals have special requests on medical items that can be produced only in Europe, in Germany, Holland, or Britain. Then it makes sense to purchase these items because these countries are main producers of this or another kind of medical or technical equipment. And it is also useful sometimes to buy items, small items inside of Ukraine. For example, tourniquets, medicine, mattresses, beds, pillows for IDPs, because we are mainly equipped in IDPs centers for 100 or 300 people. And we buy them inside of Ukraine because it makes a cheaper price. So this is the answer to question about the delivery of goods and money.
Okay, thank you. This is a question for any of the three of you who may have an answer. one of our participants wants to know, how has COVID affected humanitarian efforts in your country?
Actually, after beginning of the war, we forgot about COVID.
Okay, all right, understood. Here's a question that I actually have an answer for. Someone had requested, how can we help the refugee movement to Florida and other parts of the US? For those of you on the call, there is an URL. It is welcome.us.Ukraine. It is a government website, and it talks about how the US government has set up the capability for 100,000 individuals to sponsor a Ukrainian family. So you can sign up on that website to be a sponsor of a family. You can donate miles. If you are a frequent flyer and you have miles you're not using, you can donate those miles to help Ukrainians flee the country if they need to. So I would urge you to take a look at welcome.us.Ukraine. Well, as you can imagine, clearly we have more questions than we have time for. So I'm going to attempt to get the answers and post them on our zone website for any question we were unable to get to. But before I turn the session back over to my club president, I want to thank each of you for attending today and for all you do in the name of Rotary. Thank you to our club presidents and to our panelists and to our interpreter for such an informative meeting. We've had over 1,000 people on this call between our Zoom platform and our Facebook live stream. Special thanks to our behind the scenes technicians, Doug Wolf from District 7730 and Rotarian Sean Patty from District 7030. They make the magic work for these Zoom events, and we appreciate their technical expertise. The recording of this meeting will be available on the Rotary Zones 3334 website. You may Google that, or here is the URL. It is rizones33-34.org. Once again, rizones33-34.org, and it will be available by the end of this week. Marcy, back over to you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Well, I appreciate everyone being on the call today. And to wrap us up, I want a special thank you to Stephanie, my co-Rotarian in our club, for putting all this together. It was quite an effort to pull all these resources, and I'm so happy we had so many people join us to hear this important information. Thank you to my fellow presidents, Christine and Steve, for joining us on the call. Thank you to Oksana and Vladimir and Mikola for being here today, for sharing that firsthand information. We really appreciate seeing and hearing in person what's going on. So this is a call to action for my fellow Rotarians on the call today. We have the information. We've got lots of resources. Check out the links that Stephanie shared with us. So now it's time for us to go back to our clubs and share this information and see what we can do to really put this into action and help. So thank you for everyone for being here today. And this meeting is adjourned.